Romniacs back with another video. Hope you guys all enjoyed today's video as much as I do. Make sure to like, share the video to a friend, likes with this, or just anime content in general. Subscribe if you're new here, as I want to hit 9,000 subscribers by the end of August and 14k by the end of the year. But with that being said, hope you guys all enjoy it, and check out my second channel down below where I also make what ifs and discussion videos. But with that out of the way, without further ado, we can now get into the video. I've been wanting to do this what if for a pretty long time, so I put some thought into this video, so I hope you guys all enjoy it. Hated Naruto was. Hated so very much in this timeline that he would break. Having no one to share his pain, an 8-year-old Naruto would leave the village, but before that, he had studied. Studied for the first time in his life. The first time that he had ever taken a true initiative, with a goal at the end. That goal was to leave the village. Naruto would study about rogue ninja, because from talking to a few ninja who were decently experienced, like Chunin, Genin, and Jonin, he was able to figure out that if you leave the village, you can be considered a rogue ninja, and in most cases you are. This means that your village has the right to hunt you down and you can be imprisoned. So, Naruto was a bit scared of the idea of leaving. What if this happened to him, he thought. So, he wanted to do research about it. He then learned of many rogue ninja who had been able to freely escape their villages because they had power. Naruto, being an 8-year-old, had very little power, if any at all. Naruto would then think of a way to get power, as he remembered that through his relationship with the third Hokage, he does know where the seal of scrolling is. As such, he would decide to steal it. After taking this possession, Naruto would leave. Naruto had decided to take such a valuable item, if you will, due to the fact that he had seen cases like Deidara, who had escaped his village after taking their secret clay jutsu, technically speaking. So he had decided to take the scroll with many jutsu within it. Naruto would then leave the village in the very early hours of the day, while the guards were drowsy from lack of sleep and unable to pick up on some slight movements, as it would take Naruto 10 minutes with a bag carrying his belongings to exit the Leaf Village without being noticed. Naruto had breathed the fresh air as he wandered off into a nearby forest, where he found an axe and smelt food. As he neared the smell of food, he saw a man with his hair covered by a white bandana and when I say several, I mean several swords near his back. There was also another person with him, a girl with long blonde hair and a bandana, but not really a bandana, more of a headband, with the symbol of the cloud on it. These ninja were Killer Bee, 8-Tails Jinchuriki, and Yugito, the 2-Tails Jinchuriki. Killer Bee would ask who Naruto was, as Naruto explained. Yugito would tell Bee that this must be the 9-Tails Jinchuriki that they've heard so much about. It's the only logical conclusion, as she took a bite out of some boar meat because, well, they had killed a boar earlier that morning. Bee would then ask what's on Naruto's back, as Naruto would explain that it's a scroll containing many jutsu. A scroll containing many jutsu, Yugito thought to herself, as Bee was thinking the same thing. Yugito and Bee would then make Naruto explain basically why he would even leave the village and why he had. So Naruto would explain why he left the village, as he would say that, well, he was basically treated harshly. Every single day he was looked at by, well, everyone he saw. They all looked at him as if he were an abomination, a monster, somebody to be treated with zero respect at all. Nobody really paid attention to him except for the third Hokage. And even him, he only gave me a place to stay. How interesting, Killer Bee would say. Well, would you like to ask us why we're here? Aren't you just a bit scared by the fact that we are enemy ninja? By the fact that we do not belong to the Leaf Village? I'm not too scared, but there is a possibility that you would attack me. I've heard that many rogue ninja get attacked by other nations, and even other ninja from other nations. Is that all you know about being a rogue ninja? If so, you should leave. No, it's not. Well, we're here because we were sent on a mission by the Raikage. or to be more specific, my older brother A day ago. So, we're going to head back to the village. Later today, that is. Naruto would then ask to go with them, as B and Yugito would consider the odds. Yugito would then whisper in Killer B's ears, as she would basically say that if Naruto were to join the Cloud Village, or to even be allied with the Cloud Village, it would give them an advantage over every single village. The Cloud would be leagues above the Leaf Village, technically speaking, since they would now have 3 Bijou, and would have the first strongest and the second strongest at their disposal. Not only that, but they'd also have the second weakest tailed beast, that being herself. Though, at least in my mind, Yugito is not the second weakest Jinchuriki. Well, it really depends on what you guys think. Anyhow, Killer B would then decide that they would take Naruto along with them, as they would say sure. Naruto, upon arrival at the Cloud Village, would be amazed at everything, really. Before this, Killer B had basically sent a letter to his brother A, telling him of what had transpired, as A had basically told everybody in the village that they would be getting a new Bijou, and that he was a very important person, that person being Naruto. So when Naruto walked in to the Cloud Village, everybody greeted Naruto with high respect, and Naruto immediately liked this place more than any home that he had ever had beforehand, graciously accepting every gift and every thing, basically, that any villager had offered him, because many villagers were offering him food and clothes and even money and short swords, blades, weapons, kunai, etc., etc. By the end of the day, Naruto had amassed a big stomach and, well, some armor, as well as a few blades that were pretty notable, at least in the Cloud Village. Naruto would then ask what he could do with such things, what he could do with blades, what he could do with armor, and things of the sort. And it would be explained to him. A would sit Naruto down and would tell him, basically, that he would need Naruto to accept his wager. And what do I mean by that? I mean that A would basically ask Naruto if he wants to join the Leaf Village. Yes, he may have said it to B, but he needs to know that if Naruto wants to cut all ties. By that, he needs to cut all ties to the Leaf Village. He needs to fully take the step forward. He needs to fully abandon them. Or become a rogue ninja, to be more specific. Naruto would nod his head as B was in the room, but B would basically just see Naruto do this as he would smile. Naruto will be a fabulous ninja, he thought to himself. Anyhow, back to A. A would then hand Naruto this paper, as on the paper, it would state the following. Naruto is now a Jinchuriki of the Cloud Village. Not only that, but he is a ninja of the Cloud Village. Naruto, reading this, would ask what a Jinchuriki was, as A would explain. In most lands, there are 1 to 2 Bijou. What are Bijou? Naruto would ask. Simple. Bijou, otherwise known as the Tailed Beast, are living beings of chakra. To explain them in the most specific way. Not only that, but they contain immense chakra. You, my friend, are the 9 tails Jinchuriki. You still didn't answer my question. What is a Jinchuriki? And what does a Bijou and a Jinchuriki have to do with one another? Simple. When a Bijou is placed within a host in most cases being a human, and usually in all cases being a human, they are known as Jinchuriki. You are the 9 tails Jinchuriki. I see. So, what does that matter? Simple. When one village has 1 Bijou and the other village has 2 Bijou, you could easily make the assumption that the village with 2 Bijou is stronger than the one with 1. Do you get where I'm going with it? Yeah, Naruto would say, nodding his head. Precisely. Now, our village has 2 Bijou at the moment, but if we were to have 3, the shift of power would be immense. We would be the strongest village, and most of the people in the village would, well, be able to live happy lives, maybe not even seeing war. Sounds good. But what's in it for me? Well, that's simple. B had told me in a letter that you were treated harshly in your village. You will not be treated harshly here. There is only one thing that I want from you. And that is, Naruto would ask, that is for you to train. Train to be the strongest ninja. Maybe even more than that. You don't have to become one. You don't have to become the strongest. I would just like you to. Put it this way. I want you to surpass your limits. That's all I truly wish for. Really? Just for me to surpass my limits? Yes. If you don't, then you are a disappointment to me, and I can't take you in as one of my own. Yugito, the girl you met with the blonde hair, she's practically like a sister to me. And the other guy that you met with blonde hair, well, he's my brother. I see. So in order to become your brother, I must surpass my limits. Not only that, but you must promise to never give up. To never give up? Yes. In the shinobi world, ninja who give up are seen as weak, and ninja who do not complete their mission are seen as weak, even looked down upon. I don't care if I send you on a mission and you don't complete it, but give me a reason. For example, if your teammates' lives were on the line and you did not want to sacrifice them, or if the mission was on the line and you wanted to save your teammates instead, I don't care. Because that is your moral. That is your moral compass. I think I understand. Good. Now fist pump me. Then we can truly become brothers. With a single fist pump? Yes. Or we could do it the good old-fashioned way with some sake, but you're too young for that. Now, fist pump me already. Sure, Naruto would say, as he would fist pump A. A would then fist pump Naruto as, well, they would become brothers. Naruto from this day forward would train as hard as he could. Even though this is an 8-year-old Naruto, he would have the best trainers that, well, he possibly could, basically. At least in the Cloud Village, that is. Due to the fact that he's regularly being trained by Yugito, the perfect Jinchuriki of the Two Tails, Killer B, the perfect Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails, and A, the Raikage, as well as C, a skilled swordsman and Genjutsu user, as well as Samui, Darui, a skilled lightning style user, many ninja who were very powerful. Naruto would become a powerhouse in his own right. Eventually, 4 years would pass, making Naruto about 12 years old. Naruto at this point would be sitting near a pond as his legs were in the water and his upper body was all the way out of the water. He was basically just sitting at the edge of the pond with his legs in. Naruto then looked at his reflection as he thought to himself, do I want revenge? Naruto pondered this for a very long time as he knew what was right. He needed to exact revenge. He needed them to pay for everything that they did to him. He needs them to pay for the words that they called him, the mean names that they called him, and everything alike. Naruto no longer cared about the Leaf Village. He cared about the revenge that he needed against them. He cared, and now cares, about getting that revenge. The first person on Naruto's list was the third Hokage. Naruto, at this point, has mastered many jutsu and many techniques. And we're basically going to do a rundown of that before we continue, since, at least in my mind, I believe some of you are curious of what Naruto has learned and how strong Naruto is. First off, maybe you guys don't agree, maybe you do. I think Naruto here is about mid-Kage level to high Kage level. Let me explain. First off, at least in my mind, of course, this isn't technically, just my opinion. This isn't technically, my opinion isn't like the one for all, the one answer that is right. So if you guys don't agree with me, so be it. But a 12-year-old Naruto in the canon with a bit of the Nine Tails as chakra was able to beat Haku. Haku is stated to be stronger than Zabuza. Haku in the War Arc was able to react to Kakashi's Chidori. If you don't think War Kakashi is stronger than Part 1 Kakashi, well, so be it. Either way, that would mean that he's as fast as War Kakashi, who is easily Kage level in my mind, easily high Kage level in my mind. Anyhow, if Naruto was able to do that with just a fraction of the Bijuu's chakra, and here he has over half of it mastered, even more than half of it, he's actually close to KCM at the moment, and can use all of the Nine Tails' chakra through training with the perfect Jinchuriki like B and Yugito, who have their Jinchurikis mastered and under control. He not only possesses great swordsmanship, but he has some genjutsus that he utilizes with the Nine Tails, as Naruto was shown in Boruto to be able to use many genjutsus. But not only that, if you just don't think, that is what gets you to high Kage level, he can also use many jutsus and has many chakra natures. What chakra natures, you may be asking? Lightning style, wind style, and water style. So, maybe you're familiar with this, maybe you're not, but Naruto is wind style in the canon, so I think that's a pretty easy option for Naruto to get, and it kind of, makes sense, at least in my mind, for Naruto to still get lightning style, but now you may be wondering why he has water and lightning. Sorry, it makes sense for him to get wind style. Anyhow, he has lightning style because it was shown that Minato has lightning release, wind release, and fire release. And he has water release because it was shown that Kushina has water release. So, he's just going to get it genetically, and I think that's a pretty, nonchalant way to give Naruto it without him changing too much, because I don't really want to change his backstory and things of the sort, so he's just going to get it and inherit it from his father and mother. Now, his chakra control, that's a bit of an iffy subject, but he has it underway, and this Naruto has the chakra control of about his 16-year-old counterpart that fought in the War Arc, so he has pretty good chakra control. But with that, he can not only do that, but he can also activate a lightning armor on top of his armor, because he does wear armor that he got from a Cloud citizen when he first entered the village, and everybody was giving him gifts and food and money and, etc., etc. Anyhow, Naruto would then approach who he knows as his brother, A, as he would ask A if he has the permission to go to the Leaf Village. A would ask Naruto why, as Naruto would be up front. I want to kill Hiruzen. A really pondered this as he wondered why Naruto would want to kill him. Why do you want to kill your former Kage? Simple. I want to kill him because he abandoned me. I see. What do you mean by abandoned? He was never there for me. Yeah, he gave me a place to stay, but he saw it. He saw all of them. He saw all of the names that they called me, and he turned a blind eye. I see. Well, if you were to do such a thing like an invasion, you would make war spill. And by that I mean, you would make war for us and the Leaf Village. So how about you go by yourself? Invade by yourself. But I do have a jutsu that I'd like to show you. I was looking through your scroll, and I saw a jutsu that might interest you. Yeah, what is it? Since you haven't really learned any jutsu from it, it is known as the Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. I personally know this jutsu, but I've never actually used it. But legend has it that you can speed up training drastically with shadow clones if you do the training with your shadow clones. They also follow your every command, and they're easier to push out, if you will, than normal clones. At least for somebody with your caliber of chakra. I see. I gladly accept this kind gift, eh? Well, it's not really a gift if it's technically yours. You are the one who took the scroll of sealing. Well, I suppose. As Naruto would master the jutsu later that day and would get a pretty good handle on it, as he would then decide to set out. Around the same time, I feel at least, that I need to cover what has happened on Team 7. Since Team 7 would still technically have Sasuke and Sakura on it, we're going to be introducing a new member. That member is going to be a kid named Sora. Sora wasn't strong enough to, live, as he would basically sacrifice himself for Sasuke against Haku. This would cause Sasuke to unlock the 3 Tomoe Sharingan consciously, just enough to defeat Haku, as maybe it's just me, but this is really the only way I see Sasuke being able to defeat Haku, since Haku's like Zabuza's strength. And not only that, but we're just gonna have to argue it with plot, and you guys get my point. Since maybe it's just me, but I think I want Sasuke to live in this timeline, at least for right now. But yeah, so Sasuke would awaken the 3 Tomoe, and through his rage, he would be able to defeat Haku, at least enough to get Haku to fly out of his ice mirrors and onto the ground, as he would then sacrifice himself for Zabuza, with Kakashi technically killing him instead of Sasuke doing it, leaving Team 7 down a member. This would also mentally and emotionally break Kakashi for a bit, as he never wanted any of his students to die, and such a burden was something he never thought that he'd have to go through ever again. At least a similar burden. By that I mean, since he's never actually experienced losing somebody who's, one of his students, this is a similar experience to him losing a comrade or something of the sort, and he vowed that he would never let one of his comrades die. On his watch, that is. And Sora had. So he would train himself. This would also awaken Kakashi's Mangekyo, which for the long run was a pretty good trade out. But with that being said, Team 7 was almost not allowed to go into the Chunin exams because they were short a member. But with Hiruzen's leeway and Kakashi's leeway saying that they're a strong enough team, they would be able to join the Chunin exams. Anyhow, so Sasuke's still going to get the curse mark here. I see no reason why he wouldn't. Sakura's still going to be able to hold off Dosu and Zaku and Kin long enough with, Rock Lee and all those people. Long enough for Sasuke to get up and, kill them. As after that, I do see the Chunin exams going how they did in canon. So basically, Naruto's going to arrive at the Leaf Village right when everything happens. By that I mean Gaara is fighting Sasuke and Sakura, Hiruzen is fighting Orochimaru, and you guys get the point. Anyhow, so Naruto arrives at the village as he is now in a forest. He would then look around as he sensed and could hear, faintly that is, some battle. Naruto would then rush towards the noise of battle as he would see a boy with black hair and eyes vermilion red with Tomoe within them, known as the Sharingan, and a girl with pink hair that was a Kunoichi and had a red garment, as well as the fact that she was now pinned to a tree. Naruto thought about stepping into this situation as he saw that this unknown person who was attacking them, who looked similar to and had a similar chakra to a Bijou, was about to kill this boy with black hair. Naruto would then realize that the boy with black hair is an Uchiha, as he would quickly protect him from this Bijou-like chakra, who is Gaara. Naruto would then kick Gaara, slamming him through a few trees and onto the ground, doing a lot of damage to Gaara, who was surprised and was really unable to react at what just happened and really even process it, to be honest. Naruto would then look around him, basically just feeling out his surroundings as he would ask what happened here. Sasuke would then explain, as he would tell, this person who Sasuke doesn't really know, that being Naruto, to butt out of it. Naruto would then shake his head. My name is Naruto. I am from the village that you may know. It is known as the Cloud Village. The Cloud Village, Sasuke thought to himself. What could somebody from there be doing here? We already have the Sound and Sand Village here. It'd be really bad if they were to join in on the fun. Or it could even start a war, Sasuke thought to himself. Naruto would then look around, as he would then spot the pink-haired Kunoichi again. This girl in the red garments, is she your friend? Sasuke would nod. Okay. Well, then consider her saved. She will not die today. At least not here. Naruto would quickly run past the tree as he would unsheath his blade a little bit, anime style if you will, closing the blade as the tree would basically be slashed to bits, and Gaara's sand that was basically pinning Sakura to the tree would be nowhere to be found, as Naruto was able to slice it so fast and so strong and vigorously that it was mere specks of air at this point. Naruto would then look around as he then sensed the chakra of Gaara again. I want to know your name. You, that girl, and this guy in front of me that's charging towards me. Now, multi-shadow clone jutsu. Arm swing. Naruto had kind of created variants of the multi-shadow clone jutsu while training, as basically what he had done is make about 10 shadow clones that would attach to each other in a similar fashion to a ladder, as he would grab them with his right arm and slam them into his opponent, which he would do to Gaara, putting Gaara on the floor yet again, as Gaara would gather chakra. Sasuke would then speak. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I am the last living Uchiha. And her name is Sakura. Sakura Haruno. And the guy that you just hit, again, his name is Gaara. I'm not really sure on his last name, but he is a Jinchuriki. At least that's what our sensei said. They're very dangerous. Jinchuriki? Dangerous? How interesting. And who may your sensei be? His name is... Wait, why do you want to know all of this? I'm just curious. Since I am going to be saving you, I would like to know a little bit about the person who I'm saving. His name, it's Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi? Do you mean the copy ninja of the leaf? The man who's copied over 1,000 jutsu? He's a special one, isn't he? Either way, let me take care of this. Your village. I sense people's chakras fading. It's unfortunate that war has broken out within this village. A once peaceful place, Naruto would smirk. I wish I got here sooner. Then I would have been the cause of the war. Now, leave this to me. This brat. Naruto would then rush towards Gaara, kicking him up into the air before he could transform into the Shukaku. Naruto would then do a backflip mid-air, slamming Gaara down to the ground, as he would then grab his sword, unsheathing it, and pushing lightning chakra through it, as he would rush into Gaara, basically defeating him, as he would stab right through Gaara, and Gaara would pass out. Naruto would then wake Gaara up, as he would basically talk no jutsu him, unknowingly, telling Gaara that violence is not the answer, especially since these people did nothing wrong, and that just having nobody is not the way to go, as Gaara had been spouting a lot of things while they were fighting, like, oh, you have people so you are weak, and things of the sort. Anyhow, but with that being said, I think this is where I should end this part, since it's around the 30-minute mark, from what the recording says. I had to do 2 cuts, so this recording is about 29 minutes, I think. But with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Make sure to like, share the video to a friend, like, so this is just anime content in general. Subscribe if you're new here, as I want to hit 9,000 subscribers by the end of August, and 14K by the end of the year. But with that being said, check out my channel down below, my second channel, and RamiX. Oh.